This is probably going to be the only unboxing video you're ever going to see on this channel. This is a brand new air rifle. I've just received it and it's still in its cardboard box. Now they stopped making this particular rifle about a year ago, so I class this as a modern collectible. I bought it for HFT. It's a PCP rifle. I shoot Springer in HFT and I fancied a bit of a change, so I've treated myself to a nice PCP. Anyone who knows me knows that I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Feinwerkbau air guns, and this is a very nice one. So it's a Feinwerkbau 800X FT, so this is the factory set sub 12 foot-pound 16 jewel version. It's called the Basic, which means it's got a wooden stock as opposed to the fully adjustable aluminium stock. I think this wood stock version is going to be perfect for me to shoot in HFT, but we'll have a look at that later. So in the box we have the usual paperwork. Got the target test card that they shoot at the Feinwerkbau factory and the user manual. The air cylinder on these 10-meter rifles has to be removed every time you fill it, which is a little bit of a pain. So I've got the Ratworks quick fill adapter, which I'm going to fit later, and that should make life quite a lot easier. It comes with a very nice little Feinwerkbau accessories case. This is for all the tools. It's got a nice screwdriver, very nice Allen keys, and it's got a spring if you want to move the cocking handle over to the left, which I have done on another rifle. Allen keys and a little cap to depressurize the cylinder if you ever need to. So yeah, quite a nice little kit. But I'm just going to use the Allen keys, I think, to set this up. I do have the aluminium version of this rifle, so I'm quite familiar with how all the adjustments work, so it should be pretty straightforward adjusting this and setting it up. Having said that, you can see how often I put together a brand new PCP rifle because I've left the caps on the cylinder. As I mentioned earlier, Feinwerkbau discontinued this FT rifle about a year ago. I was lucky to get one of the last new ones that are still available, but once they're gone, they'll be gone. I contacted Feinwerkbau and they just said they wanted to concentrate on their Olympic winning 10-meter versions of this rifle and the newer one, the 900. So they've stopped doing these FT versions. You don't see many of them on the circuit. They're quite rare, but they're great guns. I think some people had issues with POI shift when they first came out because they were mounting their scopes wrong. But that's easily avoided, and we'll look at that later. I'm happy to say that this woodstock version feels really nice. Now I've used the fully adjustable aluminium version of this for quite a few years now in FT, field target, and the amount of adjustability, especially in the butt area, is extremely useful, especially when you're shooting off the knees seated. Hunter field target, however, is shot predominantly from a prone position, and I don't think that level of adjustability is really necessary. I did try my 800 aluminium in HFT for a while. I set it up specially, but I didn't really like it. It was too heavy, uncomfortable to hold, and a lot of that adjustability was going to waste. This wooden stock version I think is perfect for HFT. It's not quite as heavy, and the adjustability is all you need really to get a good position when prone. A really big factor was the almost vertical pistol grip on this. A lot of HFT rifles have got very sloping pistol grips or ones you have to wrap your thumb around, and I like to shoot thumb up, so that was a big consideration for me. So as I said, it's got all the adjustability I'm going to need. Adjustable cheek piece, adjustable butt pad, which is one of the most important bits after the cheek piece, and it looks like it's the same plate as is on the aluminium 800, which is very, very adjustable, so that will be good to set up. The trigger is as adjustable as you'd expect for a 10-meter Olympic rifle, so you can adjust it on two rails, so you can get left and right, shift it right over, and obviously up and down and backwards and forwards. And that will tie in well with that vertical pistol grip, so you can see I can get a really nice thumb up position, and I should be able to adjust that trigger to be perfect. I'm familiar with the hamster from the 800. It's got these really nice adjustable aluminium blocks that slide on that rail, and very easy to adjust. I'm probably just going to use one, I think, for this. So they just come off and then that will slide back into the rail. If you look behind it, there's two holes in the stock. Turns out they're threaded inserts, so I'm probably going to experiment trying to fit the hamster to that to get it a bit further back. But for now, I'll just set it up so it's parallel and give it a try with that. I think that's going to give me enough adjustability to get a really good fit. I look forward to fine-tuning that later on. Something you do have to be careful of with these rifles is how you attach the scope. It comes with a one-piece high mount, which is attached to the breech block, which is directly connected to the barrel. What you don't want to do is get a two-piece mount and attach the back part to the silver trigger block. That's because the trigger block is separable. It's held on by two bolts, and with heat or cold could expand or contract at a different rate from the breech block. So these high mounts that it comes with are perfect for field target, where you want a nice high scope. But for HFT, they're probably too high. I've bought a brand new scope for this rifle. It's an Optisan ES 10x44i. I used the Optisan EVX 10x44 on my Springer and I really like it. This is a updated version of that, so I should get on with it really well. If I offer that scope up to that scope rail, I can see it's much too high for HFT. In an ideal world, you'd keep your scope quite low in HFT, and that keeps all your aim points close together, gives you more room for error. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do when I first decided to buy this rifle, because the only scope mounts I found that were one piece that would work for HFT were handmade bespoke scope mounts, but it turned out that my favourite mount manufacturers, Sportsmatch, had just introduced a one-piece set-back mount. So it's got an 11mm rail and 30mm mounts, so should work. This is the first time I'm trying it on this rifle, so it's quite interesting. I took some measurements from my aluminium fully adjustable 800 and worked out that I needed to remove a little bit of material from the mounts to make space for the bolt going backwards and forwards, because it would just brush the bottom of the mounts if I wasn't careful. But that seems to work fine. Needless to say, that was a big relief. So I machined some material off there, and also the front and back corners of the rails, so that when they sit on the breech block, it's a nice tidy fit. Yeah, that looks good. Very happy with that. That worked well. So the next unknown is how far back I can get this scope. So if I put it as far back in the mounts as it will go, will I get the correct amount of eye relief? This is something I couldn't work out before I got the rifle, so I sort of had to take the plunge, buy everything, fit it and then see. So really the only thing to do is to fit it all together and then look through it. Well, they say luck shines on the brave, so yeah, I was very lucky because the eye relief was perfect. Phew! Another reason I chose this particular rifle to shoot in HFT is for shooting in the rain. So this has got no blued steel on it at all. It's all aluminium or stainless steel. My Springer, if it got wet, you'd have to take it apart, re-zero it. Huge pain. If this rifle gets wet, you can just remove the trigger block and the scope is attached to the barrel. You don't lose your zero, and you can get into the trigger block and make sure that's clean and dry. Really easy to clean, and yeah, that's the only bit that's got any steel in it. So very easy to manage if it gets wet, and I have actually done just that. I shot it in a downpour, it got soaked, took it apart, cleaned it, dried it, put it back together, and it still held the zero. And it was actually a pleasure to work on. It's so nicely made and everything's quite easy to work on. It was a pleasure. And then the very last thing to adjust is the cocking arm. It's fully adjustable in pretty much every way you can imagine. I'm just going to swing it out so that it clears the scope when I lift it up. Yeah, I'm probably going to change that on the final adjustment. I'll probably have it pointing backwards, so you pull it down rather than up. But that'll do for now. And here's a little update. So I've been shooting this for a couple of months and I've made a few final adjustments to this rifle. So you can see the quick fill adapter on the end there. That worked really well. And I moved the hamster back to those two threaded inserts, which is much better. And I made a custom made solid aluminium butt plate. And you can see the adjustment there. It's nicely offset, fits me perfectly. It's a really, really nice gun to shoot. That solid aluminium butt plate puts a lot of weight at the back, which is good with this rifle because it's quite front heavy. And yeah, I've shot it in a few HFT competitions and I absolutely love it. It's been an interesting transition going from Springer to PCP in HFT and also shooting off the deck, which I didn't do before, but I'm really enjoying it. The rifle was beautiful, very nicely balanced, shoots well, and it's a pleasure to operate. So for example, in my last HFT comp, I got all 6 positionals, including a 35-yard stander. So that's a really good sign that me and this rifle are going to get on well. Long may it continue. Yeah, I'm looking forward to shooting this for the next year. What a lovely piece of kit. Just got to think of a really good name for her now. Well, I really enjoyed that. Hope you did too. If you did, give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more. See you on the next one.